Warning, the following episode of The Bubble Chat contains sensitive and/or explicit subjects. Viewer discretion is advised. We highly recommend our listeners that if those subjects make you uncomfortable or trigger some sort of issue for you, to please listen to the clean version of this episode where at least most of those subjects are censored. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bubble Chat. I know. It's been a while since the last episode. I mean, what can you expect, when it comes to content creating? Sometimes you need a break. But I'm back, refreshed, and ready to keep it moving. Before I continue on, you may have noticed that Jillian and Lonnie are not here. Long story short, they have busy schedules than expected. But don't worry, they will be back around the end of October or so, but I don't want to make any assumptions or guarantees. I kind of owe you a little mouthful of an explanation about this. I do want to warn you that it is going to be a bit long, so if you rather, just listen to me spilling tea about what's going on, I will include the timestamps in the episode summary, so you can move on to that if you want to. But if you do want to know about why I haven't uploaded an episode of the Bubble Chat last week, out of curiosity, feel free to stay here for this explanation that I'm about to give to you right now. The reason why I didn't release anything this past week because I was going through a lot, having to do this podcast solo because I feel like it was never going to be the same after releasing that first episode. With that being said, I had to recharge in order to feel confident that I will do well hosting this episode solo. And I have been taking a lot of time taking care of my well-being, and I felt so refreshed and recharged to do this episode and future episodes solo. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out to Jimmy Musial. Over the summer, when he went live on TikTok, I told him that I was starting a podcast. And one of the best advice that he gave me, I really don't know what he really said or how he said it. But what I do know is that he told me to keep going, even though there are going to be times when you feel like it's not worth it, which I'm confident that is going to be worth it. And that's one of the best advice that I could ever get from him. And I'm pretty sure everybody who has been listening to the podcast will be or has been giving me advice when it comes to the podcasting industry. So, Jimmy, if you're listening to this episode, thank you so much for that message. I mean, if it wasn't for you, this dream wouldn't be possible. And I hope one day you could join as a guest or a permanent guest co-host or even just show up for an interview. I do know that you are a very busy guy, so if you're unable to, that is totally fine. Hold on one second, I need to put my iPad on Do Not Disturb. What can you expect when you're recording a Zoom podcast, right? Anyway, for those of you who may have not known who Jimmy is, he is a content creator on TikTok and Instagram. He makes the best motivational content, especially with his segment, Mornings with Jimmy. He's also done lip sync videos for Friends, which is the only show that I know he normally lip syncs at the moment. I think he lip syncs Sandler from Friends. His content always made me feel motivated and made me feel happy, especially when it comes to his content with one of his twins. I recently watched a video of Jimmy giving out a motivational message with his twin, either Troy or Brody. I think it's Brody. I don't know. I have followed this guy since day one when I was uploading content on TikTok. I have been doing some of his videos, fun reacting to his motivational videos. He even duetted a TikTok video with me back in October of last year, along with another TikToker friend of mine, Mariah Bowen, and that was so nice of them because I was so nervous of how they were going to react when they saw that I tagged them. And the fact that they did it, even though they didn't have to, has made me feel with so much gratitude. And just like my family, friends, and listeners who are listening to this episode right now, this will forever be the moment that I will truly be grateful for. I'm going to leave Jamie and Mariah's social media in the summary of this episode so you can check their content out if you want to. Also, a huge thank you to everyone who has supported this podcast since the trailer and or the first episode. And thank you to over 100 of you guys for downloading this episode and has been on this ride with me since the beginning. I'm going to be a mailing with you. Doing this podcast alone is not going to be easy, but I'm confident that it will all be worth it at the end of the day. We're all just, we're all expected to give things a shot, even though it may seem scary. And that's what I've been doing, and I'm really, really looking forward to keeping this podcast going. Okay, I know I gave a mouthful of an introduction on this episode, and I'm probably going to give a mouthful on my thoughts on the topics that I want to talk about, because some people who are listening to this episode right now are probably like, hurry up, I don't have all day. Don't worry. I'm now ready to chat with you guys, so let's get right into it. For our first topic today, pop queen Lady Gaga posted an apology to her monsters, as she would call her fans, after canceling the final date of her Chromatica ball tour this past Saturday at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. According to Today, the venue issued an announcement tweeting, quote, "Tonight's Lady Gaga show couldn't continue after a show pause at 10:50 p.m. in the interest of fan safety due to inclement weather that included lightning." After the announcement broke, Gaga shared a video on Instagram, and there wasn't a dry eye, while addressing the situation, claiming, quote, "We really tried to finish the show tonight in Miami, but we couldn't because even when the rain stopped, there was lightning that was striking down to the ground so close to us." She then added on that this moment was the greatest tour and she will cherish it forever. Gaga then posted a picture holding flowers, adding, "I guess somehow I knew this moment would happen, and I am so grateful to you, my dancers, my band, the whole crew, everyone, my family and friends. Safety first. Love you." Now, as I was doing research on this, I completely understand Lady Gaga's, heartbreak when the show had to be paused and then, just ended as it is, especially with the weather in Florida. But she definitely understands, that safety comes first. Like touring is fun and, performing at concerts is fun, but at the same time, the safety of her monsters and to all of her fans always comes first. And I'm really, really glad this situation has been handled because the show could go on. And the lighting continues and it could end up to really fatal and disastrous events. And I'm just really glad the show was able to stop once that happened. I think going back to March 2020 when the lockdown began, when it wasn't even possible to go, where it wasn't even possible to go out, the concerts, because we have to stay 6 feet, we have to wear a mask, we have to stay at home. Everything had to be done virtually entirely. That really, really shows that safety comes first, because during that time, there wasn't a vaccine available. So, and the numbers keep skyrocketing and skyrocketing and skyrocketing. And, but yeah, I'm really, really proud of Lady Gaga for trying to be strong however she could, especially with her, gratitude that she put that she showed on the show. So I definitely want to send Lady Gaga so much positive vibes, and I just continue to wish her the best as she plans, more shows, hopefully in a more safety matter. And for our next topic, by now I'm sure you all saw the trailer for the reissue of The Little Mermaid that is set to be in theaters next May. The New York Times claimed that the new Ariel, played by Halle Bailey, inspired joy for young black girls. A recent article from Vibe claimed that black parents started to record their children as they watched the 1 minute teaser and react to the discovery that Ariel is now a black woman with red locks. Bailey took to Instagram claiming, quote, "People have been sending these reactions to me all weekend and I'm truly in awe. Seeing these little babies' reactions make me so emotional." Nevertheless, the internet has been flooded wave after wave of racist critics saying that Ariel should stay the way it is, including a trending hashtag. I'm not going to say the hashtag's name out of respect, but what I will say is that people were less than impressed with the new Ariel from the 2023 reissue, as the teaser trailer on YouTube has received racist comments in addition to more than 1.5 million dislikes. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I really don't understand how people could, first of all, if they don't like anything, that you don't like anything. It's their opinion, and it's their opinion only, and we can't control it. There's nothing we can do. What I will not understand is that why people would have to be so sensitive and just callous of this new change that we all seen in A Little Mermaid. When Holly was singing A Part of Your World, I hope I'm saying that right. I really don't know the actual name of the song. I think it's been a while since I've listened to it. She sung very, very amazing, and I could tell everybody felt inspired by it. I'm not really a fan of The Little Mermaid. Okay, I gotta admit, I watched it a few times, and I just loved it so much. But I'm honestly really looking forward to this movie. I really, really think that, Disney has been trying to show inclusion, to create an inclusive future together. Because if you're a Disney Plus customer and you watch something like Peter Pan or Dumbo, a disclaimer will show up saying that this movie consists of racist content and that the behavior was wrong then and it's wrong today. And, and instead of, removing it, we wanted to educate ourselves, to create an inclusive future. And I believe that Disney Plus has been doing a good job of, trying to, show inclusion and diversity to everybody who has been a Disney kid or a Disney adult. And so I really, really, really love the idea of what the creators of the new Little Mermaid movie are trying to do. They're trying to show inclusion. They're trying to inspire people. And they've been inspiring people since day one, and I believe that Halle is or was, I don't know, but she is from the duo band called Chloe and Halle, and I'm just in awe after watching this trailer. I'm really, really think it's going to be a good movie. Some people may disagree, but I'm really looking forward to this movie, and I really, really hope everyone, I really hope that everyone shows understanding of what Disney is trying to do, especially with the new reissue of The Little Mermaid. And I'm just really, really, really excited to see the hard work and the many months that it took to make this movie. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this movie. Alrighty, well, I am going to take a break, but before I do so, I want to take a moment to wish everybody a happy Hispanic Heritage Month to celebrate the contribution and influence of Hispanic Americans to their history, culture, and achievements for the United States. The holiday, for those who may have been aware, and for those of you who are curious to know about this holiday, the holiday started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under 36th President Lyndon Johnson, and was later expanded by Ronald Reagan in 1988 to cover a month period starting on September 15th through October 15th. On the approval of the public law, it became enacted on August 17th, 1998. September 15th is the anniversary of independence for Latin American countries consisting of Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras. I do hope I'm pronouncing this right, and if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I truly apologize. And Nicaragua. Mexico and Chile additionally celebrated their independence days on September 16th and 18th, respectively. Columbus Day also falls within this 30-day period. I'll be right back for more topics, and I will see you in a few. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Bubble Chat. Let's move on with actor Adam Sandler. On behalf of this podcast, I definitely want to send him some well wishes to Adam Sandler. For those of you who may have not known, he is using a cane while recovering from hip surgery. 401 on this, days earlier after the premiere of the Netflix special Hustle, he claimed that he had a long-lasting groin injury during the making of the film back in 2020. According to Yahoo Entertainment, TMZ has photos of him shopping with his wife in Los Angeles over the past weekend and was spotted using it on September 5th as well. I won't go into too much detail of what happened to him because it's too graphic, but I will say that I did read what he was going through before that surgery, and I just can't imagine that feeling that he had. This is probably going to be, my opinion is probably going to be like, the quickest one ever, because I definitely want to send Adam Sandler some positive vibes and well wishes during his recovery. As I was, researching this topic, I was shocked that he had to go through so much after, filming this film, and to see him speaking up about it I'm pretty sure he must be really, really brave. Yeah. Like I said, I really had nothing much to say about this topic, but I do want to wish Adam Sandler lots of love and lots of well wishes and a good, speedy recovery. Next up, we're going to talk about Oscar winner, actress, and producer Viola Davis, along with her response to the critics of her film, The Woman King. As you all know, The Woman King was released last week and to tell the story about an all-female military unit called the Agaji, guarding the West African kingdom of Dahomey from the 17th and 19th century. According to Screen Rant, the film has received glowing reviews, making it one of the year's best Rotten Tomato score of 95%. But regardless, some people have been less than impressed, calling to quote-unquote boycott the film. But it didn't take long enough for Viola Davis to respond, tweeting, "First of all, I agree with Gina Prince Bythewood, I hope I'm saying right, saying if you're not going to win an argument on Twitter, we entered a story where the kingdom was in flux at crossroads. They were looking to find some way to keep their civilization and kingdom alive. It wasn't until the 1800s that they were decimated." Ooh, that's a hard word to say. Do excuse me if I mispronounce some words or something, but yeah. Um, Most of the story is fictionalized. It has to be. Other users on the internet came to the film's defense as one user tweeted, quote, "The movie speaks on how everyone, including African tribes, participate in the slave trade and its specific impact on Black women. It is a masterpiece." Yeah, another mouthful of a topic. I definitely understand the meaning of this film. I recently saw it last week, and I honestly thought the movie was good. I thought Viola Davis did a really good job putting together the concept of this film as the producer of it. I don't really know much about history, but I did honestly agree with the user who defended the movie when she was saying that it's big on how everyone, including African tribes, participate in the slave trade, and it's specific on Black women. Um, and I think this is one of those movies to, educate ourselves on. Because, yeah, when I started educating myself about racism, ever since the tragic murder of George Floyd back in May 2020, and and since that happened, there has been a lot of reflections, a lot of activism, a lot of conversations with each other and with ourselves, just like the conversations that I had with Jalen and Alani about the Rayshard Brooks shooting and the Breonna Taylor in our last episode, and I'm really glad that I was able to brought those conversations up. I really don't think it's more respectful to, because I really think the people who are saying boycott the Woman King are coming from trolls, and or internet users who wanted to like call this movie out and criticize it, without doing their research. It's my opinion and just my opinion only. I could be wrong. So if you disagree with me, just let me know in a review. I'm okay with it. But yeah, I really enjoyed this film. And the director of this film did a good job on this. She really did a good job putting this movie together along with Viola Davis as she was producing the film. And I really just adored the movie. And of course, I adore Viola Davis so much. And yeah, the movie is a very amazing movie. If you haven't seen it, please go see it. It's amazing. It's educational. It's really a badass movie. And I really enjoyed the movie a lot. Okay, so by now, I'm sure everyone has heard rumors about Maroon 5 singer Adam Levine allegedly cheating on his wife with model Sumner Stroh. I hope I said that right. Well, Levine addressed the situation that he was denying the fact that he was cheating, but he wasn't going to deny the fact that he made a mistake. Levine wrote in an Instagram story claiming, quote, "I used poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious matter. I did not have an affair. Nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period in my life. In certain instances, it became inappropriate. I have addressed this at, and taken active steps in, excuse me, to remedy this with my family." According to a recent article from Rapier, I hope I'm saying this right, the statement was made after a social media influencer, Sumner Stroh, who claimed that he and the singer were having a year-long affair. Stroh claimed on a TikTok video, quote, "At that time, I was young, I was naive, and I was quite frankly, quite frankly, I felt exploited." Stroh then included screenshots of her alleged DMs on Instagram, where one message shows the singer asking her if she would be fine naming his unborn baby after her. If you guys do not know, Adam Levine and his wife and model Beth Sadie Crinslow. I do hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. If not, then I do apologize. Are expecting their third child in accordance with People. An article from Daily Hive claimed that Joanne Levine stopped keeping in touch for a period of months before he sent her a strange message on Instagram. Stroh then received backlash from her followers as Levine's marriage has been public for a long time. First of all, I just want to say I want to praise Adam for being strong about this situation. I'm also really proud of him that he's owned up to the fact that, he made a mistake because, he's human and we're all human. We all make mistakes that weren't aware that might affect them, but I'm pretty sure I'm glad to know that there has been I'm just glad to know that Adam Levine has never cheated on anyone, as he claimed on an Instagram story, but took responsibility of crossing the line. And I think that's to the part where he sent that message where he wants to name the baby after the model. So I'm just really, really amazed to see Adam, speaking up about this, because I just can't imagine, because when I was hearing all of this, my heart was broken for Adam, especially with his wife being pregnant to a third child. Because the thing of it is, I believe Sumner is a social media influencer, I believe, and I think most of the times they will accuse people of something just to make him, her, or them the bad guy, and I honestly think it is ridiculous. I really think that this is something that shouldn't have happened in the first place. It's just, we just need to do better as a social media creator, yeah. We can't, just assume that they're guilty without, knowing what really happened. And I think to top it all off, I'm really, really glad that Adam, just wanted to set the record straight and just be honest with his fans, I've been listening to his music back in 2008, and I've still listened to it ever since, and his music is always good, and I'm proud of Adam for trying to speak up about the situation, and I really, really hope that he and his wife's relationship continues to go on pretty well. Excuse me. For our final topic this week, Prince of Reggaeton J Balvin has announced a new bilingual mental health app to channel emotion into creativity. J Balvin has become one of the most celebrity advocates for mental health. For those of you who may have not known, this is going to be a little bit of a trigger warning as it talks about mentions of suicide, so do be aware and listen to the clean version of this episode if that triggers you. The reggaeton star opened up about his mental health issues in a 2020 documentary, The Boy from Medellin. I do hope I'm saying this right, and if I'm pronouncing this wrong, I do apologize. J Balvin shared his struggles with depression, anxiety, and suicidal thoughts in a conversation with Becky G in her podcast, and La Sala, in English, in the living room. Balvin recalled a time where several years ago he got depressed and laid in bed for 5 days, quote, waiting to die. Balvin said that he was unsure why he didn't want to wake up, eat, or even live. The Latin Grammy winner has been a mental health advocate, and around May, I believe, he announced a bilingual mental health app called Oye, as a recent article from Today claimed that the goal is to empower anyone in the Latinx community and other cultures who are struggling with mental health by providing a space to help channel their emotions into creativity. The app did not sponsor this episode, but as of now, it is released on Google Play and the App Store, and those will be linked in the episode description. episode summary of this episode, so you can check it out if you want to. It will be put in the description on YouTube as well. Now, let's. My thoughts on this is that I'm really, really proud of J Balvin, for being so brave about his mental health, especially with him, creating music. And because most of the times, people have been going through mental health issues, especially in the music industry, and I think this is a similar situation because, when I first heard about this, I immediately thought about Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber, if you guys do not know, Justin Bieber was going through mental health issues during his Justice World Tour, and he and because of that, he either paused or canceled the tour just to take care of his mental health. So, huge well wishes to Justin Bieber and J Balvin. You know, I have been, when April of 2020 started, I believe a month right after COVID hit, I also suffered from depression and anxiety, but I don't, suffer from any suicidal thoughts. I never had any thoughts of suicide because it's just not worth it. But most of the times I would either just impatiently wait for the lockdown to be over and for more updates because a little bit about me, I'm a big go outer. I go out to the mall, I go to the movies, I'm a big movie goer. And just to not have that in that time, it was really, it made me feel really depressed, and I was also suffering from anxiety. I've been, curious to know what was going on, with me looking up news articles to see when will things, be back to normal and when will things be open again, and it was just these voices in my head, it was these voices in my head, which is part of my anxiety. But I have been taking care of my mental health, throughout the summer, coming up with a routine and I've hardly experienced any symptoms of depression and anxiety around August when my first year of San Francisco State started. I was still able to connect with the people I have, even though we were virtual. Um, but I'm just, I'm going to be honest, this is one of the most honorable moments that I missed on 2020 so far. Because had I not done this, who knows what would have happened, right? And and also a part of my mental health. Before I was a backup secondary major, because I'm a theater arts and broadcasting major. I first double majored in theater arts and cinema. Because I'm a moviegoer. I'm always curious to know about movies. Um, but around that semester, was the workload started to take more toll of my mental health, and because I was sleeping, I was stressed. I finished my most of my exams at way after midnight. I think my last exam that I finished was at 1:34 a.m. And I decided to switch my secondary major to Becca and keep my primary major the way it is, theater arts. Is It really just made me feel so happy, because I'm pretty sure had I not done it, I would have been so miserable throughout my SSA journey. But the fact that I'm not is really, really something that really made me happy, and I am forever grateful for that moment. Um, I'm just and to see J Balvin creating this app to help people who are suffering from mental health issues, to it has really helped a lot of people. I've been You know, I think this is one of the most important things to do, which is to take care of your mental health. Do what makes you happy. And I think, and I've started learning more about that last year, right after switching my secondary major to just major what makes you happy. Um, but yeah. Before I conclude this topic, since World Mental Health Day is around the corner, I just want to let you guys know that if you or someone you know is facing mental health struggles, do know that there are ways to get help. Reach out to a family and or friend. Also, just like I said, do something that makes you happy. Don't feel like you have to do something to make your family happy and not yourself happy. Always be passionate on what you want to do that makes you happy without having to put yourself through a lot of stress. Also, be there for one another. There are a lot of people who are going through something that we absolutely know zero about. Give your loved ones a call or a text. Reach out to them because you never know what they're going through. Always and always remember that you're not and you'll never be alone. There will always be someone there for you. And if I were to do the whole 2020 experience again, I honestly would. And just please take care of your mental health. Listen to your body. Just always know that you come first. All right, everyone, that's all the time I have for today. Thank you all so much for listening, and let me know what you guys think about the topic that I have talked about. Let me know in your reviews, and as always, leave your reviews respectful, whether it's going to be a positive one or a respectful criticism one. As long as it's, honest and respectful. Everyone's opinions are valid, whether pleasant or not, but I'm new and I'm human just like everyone is, and I'm confident that this podcast will grow in the future. And as always, subscribe to this podcast so you won't miss out on the episode. I've been Jawan Johnson. I hope everyone is having a great day, and I will catch you next time. Peace to the out.